Okay, who here hasn't been to space?
Why?
You better not throw up on my ship.
Approaching jump in 3, 2, 1.
What's up and what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we discuss all things movies, TV, streaming, hot topics, and more. It looks like we've got a couple of different new topics to discuss with new reports around Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4 film, as well as a Spider-Man 4 film for Tobey Maguire. We've also got some news on when to expect the Thor Love and Thunder trailer and its runtime, and the official news for Marvel Studios' Daredevil's Disney Plus series. But before we get into any of that, if you're new here and you have not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscription button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the future content that we're going to be putting out. We've got some Spider-Man 4 updates, and not just for the MCU current webhead Tom Holland, but also for the Sam Raimi Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 4 film. And it looks like new reports for Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4 film state that Sony wants director Jon Watts to return to helm the Spider-Man films. However, it was announced April 29th that Jon Watts would be stepping away from Marvel's upcoming Fantastic Four reboot, which may or may not be starring John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. And this is coming to us over from Variety, where Jon Watts stated in an interview, "Making 3 Spider-Man films was an incredible and life-changing experience for me." Watts said in a statement, "I'm eternally grateful to have been a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe for 7 years. I'm hopeful we'll work together again, and I cannot wait to see the amazing vision for Fantastic Four brought to life." And in a separate statement, Marvel Studios chief Kevin Feige had this to say, "We were looking forward to continuing our work with him to bring the Fantastic Four into the MCU, but understand and are supportive of his reasons for stepping away." Feige continued, "We are optimistic that we will have the opportunity to work together again at some point down the road." And it was later reported on May 17th and confirmed that Watts will be creating and executive producing a series that follows the fall of the Empire through the eyes of 4 children ages 11 through 12. The project is currently under the codename Grammar Rodeo. The series is described as a galactic version of a classic Amblin coming-of-age adventure films of the 80s. However, Sony seems fairly confident that Jon Watts will return, and from what's being reported by Sony chairman Tom Rothman, it seems like they might have reason to be. There were many different things discussed within the interview, but one of the most interesting things discussed in the interview was when Deadline asked Rothman about those who doubted Sony and underestimated their franchise's strength, in which Rothman had this to say, "We have our Marvel business, which breaks into 3 trenches. There are Spider-Man movies, and we're currently at work on 2 Spider-Man sequels to our Oscar-winning animated movie with Lord and Miller." He goes on to say, "We hope to get working on the next Spider-Man movie soon." To which Deadline replied, "With Zendaya, Tom Holland, and Jon Watts returning," in which Rothman had this to say, "That whole group, we hope." He then said, "Then there are movies I would call adjunct to the Spider-Man universe. That's Kraven, which we're shooting now, and Madam Web, which will start in the spring with S.J. Clarkson directing. And then there are many Marvel characters that are standalone." As a huge Spider-Man film, I would love to believe Rothman and Sony's Spider-Verse plans, but we will never forget the dumpster fire that is Morbius.
I've been reading about you.
I'm listening.
I'm not sure how I got here. Has to do with Spider-Man, I think. I'm still figuring this place out, but I think a bunch of guys like us should team up. Could do some good.
Intriguing.
And the absolute lies and deception that we were fed for over 2 years about the film.
Lies! Deceptions!
But I digress, because it sounds like they still may have somewhat of a plan with their Spider-Man universe. And if they're going to continue with where the story left off in No Way Home, of course, it'd be great to have Jon Watts return. And it looks like that is going to be their plan, to continue the story with everyone forgetting that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Chairman Tom Rothman wouldn't have mentioned having the entire group back if that wasn't something in their plans from the beginning. But ever since No Way Home and bringing together the 3 different generations of Spider-Man, fans have been craving more, with many reports after the film saying that Sony wants and has plans for Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield to return as Spider-Man. And for those of you that don't know, originally Sam Raimi wanted to do 4 different Spider-Man films with Tobey Maguire. He had even gotten John Malkovich to come in as the Vulture. And with Sam Raimi back in the Marvel Universe as director of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, many have been asking, is he going to direct a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 4 film? And it actually sounds like Sam Raimi is open to returning. He recently told Fandango, "I don't really have a story or a plan. I don't know if Marvel would be interested in that right now. I don't know what their thoughts are about that. I haven't really pursued that, but it sounds beautiful. Even if it wasn't a Spider-Man movie, I'd love to work with Tobey again in a different role." And if you can take your mind back to No Way Home, Tobey Maguire stated that he's pretty much open for anything.
I'm open for anything.
I'm ready to go. And that's about it, to be honest with you.
And Raimi also sat down with Movie Plot where he said, "I didn't think it was possible. But after jumping back in the multiverse, I realized just like Doctor Strange does, anything is possible."
I didn't think it was possible, but after jumping back in with the multiverse, I realized that just like Doctor Strange does, anything is possible now. So I'm completely open to it.
And we are eager to see it. We are absolutely eager to see it. I mean,
so it sounds like the only thing that we're really waiting on is for Sony and Marvel to put their seal of approval on it. And with the massive success of Spider-Man No Way Home bringing in over $1 billion, this is a big possibility. And I personally would love to see Tobey Maguire return as Spider-Man in his own solo film. Now let's shift over to some Thor Love and Thunder news. Co-writer and director Taika Waititi, along with Thor himself, Chris Hemsworth, and King Valkyrie Tessa Thompson, put out a video of when we could possibly be expecting the next trailer.
I came up with something totally different to let basketball fans know the Thor Love and Thunder trailer is amazing.
Whoa.
whoa.
Wow.
Avant-garde.
Yeah.
Tour de force.
The secret is actually to get heavy card stock.
You bring the thunder, I'll bring the love.
Now Monday night's playoff game is going to be Game 4 of the Heat and Celtics series, so I would expect maybe the trailer to come out around halftime, but it could definitely come out before then. And according to Australia cinema chain Event Cinema, Thor's upcoming blockbuster clocks in at 115 minutes, or 1 hour and 55 minutes. Neither Disney nor Marvel Studios have addressed the legitimacy of that runtime, but if this is correct, Love and Thunder will be one of the shortest MCU films, which would really disappoint me coming off the brilliance of Thor Ragnarok and its runtime of 2 hours and 10 minutes. However, there are some scoopers and websites that are claiming that the film is 2 hours and 20 minutes. So until Marvel Studios or Disney confirm, everything has to be taken with a grain of salt. And to finish off the latest news topics, it's been reported from Variety that Marvel Studios is currently in development for the Daredevil Disney Plus series. Now this has been rumored for quite some time now and almost solidified with his cameo in No Way Home. And from other older reports, it's been reported that we're actually going to see Charlie Cox as Daredevil popping up within the MCU in other projects before his series comes out. And we also know from leaks and rumors that he is supposed to show up in the She-Hulk series and be in his classic yellow Daredevil suit. And with Jennifer Walters and Matt Murdock both representing superheroes, it just makes sense that their paths would cross eventually. And we also got our first look at the upcoming Echo Disney Plus series releasing in 2023. And if you know anything about Echo and Daredevil's relationship within the comics, they're pretty much in love. Not to mention that Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin should be the main villain of that series.
Speak her name again. Go ahead.
With some reports even saying that the events of the Echo series are going to bleed into the Daredevil show. So we very well may be seeing Charlie Cox as Daredevil pop up in the Echo series as well. And personally for me, I would love for Daredevil and Spider-Man to interact more within the MCU, maybe against a true Sinister Six team. But as always, let me know what you guys are thinking down below. What do you think about all the latest news and hot topics? What do you think about Tom Holland, Zendaya, Jacob Batalon, and possibly John Watts returning for a Spider-Man 4 film? And what do you think about Sam Raimi possibly doing a Spider-Man 4 film with Tobey Maguire? And you also have to let me know what you think we're going to be seeing in the next Thor trailer. Are we going to get our first glimpse of Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher? Are we going to get a better glimpse of Jane Foster? And of course, give me all of your thoughts on Daredevil and the upcoming series that Charlie Cox will be starring in. Let me know what you guys think. Leave your thoughts and comments down below. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. We'll see you guys in the next video.